Forgive us, just yell out, just speak up if you can't hear me. Just a family thing, first of all. Julian's little sister is here today. Has only been able to visit Julian once. I think that's pretty cruel. Mm. Julian's children are unable to visit. His brother has visited it twice. I go pretty regularly. Every Christmas I went for 2 weeks. So that's the family thing. I think an important thing is to be a witness. And tonight we're privileged here to have Joseph, who was there at the beginning and is still there now. So the 10 years of ceaseless persecution and pressure from state after state, my own country, Australia, the United Kingdom, Sweden and the US. Joseph is witness to those procedural distortions, malfeasance, misfeasance, lies, calumnies, day after day, in a deluge equal to Niagara of almost, well, you'd have to say, obscene accusations against a small group of activists and Julian. I'll go on now and divide it up into 3 parts. The first is that this is an United Kingdom problem. Before, Wikileaks is a United Kingdom publication. It's in the basement of a building that the cables and the Iraq war logs and Afghan war logs were put together for publication with New York Times and Guardian and the Spiegel, El Pay, Le Monde, up to 120 publishing partners. The next is that it's a European publication, as I just outlined. So it's it's a pan-European problem, that the intimidation, imagine there's 100 lawyers working on Julian's case. It costs, say, if it were, money you had to pay out and it wasn't some of it free work, it'd cost $10 million to defend Julian. This dire situation, this intimidation, this brutal intimidation of publications, publishers and journalists. Julian and Wikileaks and Joseph are all 3 of those. Every other journalist faces that onslaught if they publish anything that the United States in this illiberal era doesn't like. Thirdly, it's a global problem for the repression of comment, the repression and the oppression of commentators, journalists if you want, but publications and publishers. The oppression means that we are not going to learn anything. We're not going to be able to make sensible decisions after reviewing within ourselves and our neighbours and friends what we read about that the United States and its allies are doing. So we're in the dark. All your vigour and being here tonight holds up Julian as an icon of defiance of that intimidation, oppression and dire circumstance where they are determined to progressively and slowly murder Julian. You may think I'm being overly dramatic. Many people do. They say, "Oh, John, that you know you ought to be a bit more mild." But Julian had an abscess on his tooth. He wrote to the United Kingdom Justice Department and said, "Can I go to the hospital? I'll come back." They said, "No, you step out of there, you'll be arrested." He had a shoulder problem, polymyalgia, which required an MRI. The same result. Towards the end, 2 years, Julian's a sweet-natured man, determined, but sweet-natured, quite charming and amusing. I remember when he was littler, that at a party, people would gather around him because he could put information in a way that you didn't feel like you were being lectured to. It came to you as a gift, an open hand. And slowly, the oppression in a trajectory of increasing intensity over the last 2 years, aimed at ruining a gentle, intellectual man who just simply published truth, increased to the extent where there were microphones in the women's toilet because the lawyers and Julian would use the women's toilet as a private place to have a private conversation. At the very end, every single conversation, every room had cameras, the hallways cameras. You can see online pictures of Julian sitting outside the bathroom, waiting his turn. It's appalling. But this was a deliberate policy of the Crown Prosecuting Service, the United States. They all facilitated this. They had cameras outside, so they knew everybody who was going in and out. This is an intensity of surveillance which we call torture. Just let that sink in. It's a true thing. We are witness. We stand as witness to this event in our times. It is the most important global event for us to resist and ensure that Julian can sit with us and have a cup of coffee in that coffee shop down the road, just on the sidewalk. No big deal. Just with us and his family or friends, to nod his head and say hello. Now, after that oppressing tirade, the tide has turned in our favour. In Australia, we are cautiously optimistic. We have a group of 11 parliamentarians in the Ginger group supporting Julian and about 20 others. In Germany, just today, there was an extraordinary letter of 100 signatories, including Sigmar Gabriel, who is the ex-economics minister, and the ex-foreign minister, Bohm, who's the ex-interior minister, and a list of others that, I can't remember their names, but at the very peak of the political class in Germany. The same will happen in France. And so last night, John McDonnell turned up and said that he is in solidarity with it. So the movement, through your strength and the emergence of history, the historical phenomena, is emerging within us to ensure that Julian joins us in the normal human life again. Thank you.